Stay up to date with all that's happening with the new national party, NNP. Send us a message via text or WhatsApp on 405-8683 with your name, email, and constituency. Stay in the know with NNP. Get updated.
There's so much going on with the NNP, and we're just getting started. From candidate launches to contests, events, and breaking news, be in the know. Get notified first about big events and announcements. Plus, we're here to listen. We want to hear from you. Leave us a comment, tell us what's working and what's not. Like what we're doing? Let us know. The NNP is working for you. Interact with us on Facebook. Come on, Grenada, get connected. Like us on Facebook/NNP Grenada and keep moving.
We speak here of access to the CCJ. We also speak to affordability of the CCJ, because the CCJ has taken a decision to have matters heard in our respective countries. So if a matter, there are 5 matters in Grenada, they'll come to Grenada to hear the matters. So you don't have to pay any tickets to go to Trinidad, no matter how close Trinidad is. You simply take a bus and pay $2 and go and let your matter be heard. And it is even taking into consideration your socio-economic condition. If you cannot afford the fees, it shall make arrangements to set it aside on your behalf. So, for many of us, access to justice could very well be free. Could very well be free, only if you vote yes for the CCJ and you get the 2/3. It's a very simple message to you, that you have a duty to yourself and an obligation to your nation and to succeeding generations to vote in support of the CCJ. So when you go to this polling station, look for the 3-letter word.
The Ministry of Youth Development, Sports, Culture and the Arts present Youth Week 2018, empowering our youth, shaping our community, protecting our future. The week of activities kicks off on Friday, November 9th, with the Minister's Address from 8 p.m. Saturday, 10th November, Health Fair, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Cuthbert Peters Park, War, and the Fitness Revolution, 3 p.m. Concord Junction. Sunday, 11th November, it's the Peace Concert, Grenville Bus Terminal. On Tuesday, 13th November, ministers meet with the youth at Her Majesty's Prison. Thursday, 15th November from 5 p.m. It's the Imani Graduation, Youth Awards and Gala. And on Friday, 16th through the weekend, it's the National Youth Service Weekend. Every parish get involved. And on Saturday, 17th November, it's Youth Expo, Explosion Fashion and Cultural Day. 2 p.m. until at Hero Square, Victoria in St. Mark. So remember, Youth Week 2018, November 9th to the 17th.
More nurses could be added to the public service by the end of this year. Details to this story and more in the National Report. With the details to the news for today, Tuesday, October 30th, 2018, I am Rikisha St. Louis. The Ministry of Health anticipates the inclusion of new nurses in the public service by year-end. That announcement by Health Minister Honorable Nicholas Steele at the government's weekly post-cabinet media brief on Tuesday. Minister Steele says the batch of nurses will graduate from St. George's University with a Bachelor of Science degree in November. The health sector has been placed under the microscope on many occasions as it seeks to improve services to the public and enhance its human resource.
We eagerly await the first graduating class, which should be in November, of nurses from SGU with a Bachelor of Science degree in nursing. SGU is working hand in hand with our nursing council to make sure that all the T's are dotted, all the T's are crossed and all the I's are dotted with respect to certification. But the first batch will be graduating and successfully with a Bachelor's of Science degree.
Minister Steele says integrating new nurses into the system will improve the scope of work at the hospital and other health facilities on island. He hopes that most, if not all, of the qualified nurses will be employed under the public service.
I expect an enhancement. As always, we are confined within the rules and regulations of the public service agreements that we have made with or through the debt restructuring period. So I would like to, and I'm working to have each and every one of those nurses in the system. But there will be, as we have done in the past, there will be methods that are not the usual expected coming on to the system as an established worker, but I want those individuals as quickly as possible to be serving the public, and I am sure those individuals, having been qualified, want to serve the public. So as Health Minister, I will be working with our Minister of Finance and Department of Public Administration to find ways for these individuals to come into the service.
Grenada's Citizenship by Investment program, described as a model for other countries, continues to make a significant contribution to Grenada's economic growth. During last week's post-cabinet briefing, Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, Dr. the Right Honourable Keith Mitchell, assured that they will continue to ensure due diligence in the program.
Grenada has done very well financially. Part of the reason for the economic growth in the country has been the CVI program. Right now, I can tell you, this year we are earning over $60–70 million in the CVI program already. So you could imagine what it will do for us in the coming months and years ahead. So we believe that it's necessary, but we must have a CBI that does not create problems for us. So if there are problems raised by anyone or any institution or country, we have to examine it, see how we can correct any weakness and move on.
This is the National Report. We'll have more news after the break.
On November 6, 2018, Grenadians will go to the polls to vote in a referendum. The polls open at 6 a.m. and close at 5 p.m. Remember, first check the voters list outside the polling station before seeing the poll clerk, who will enter your name into the poll book. The presiding officer will then instruct you how to vote before issuing you with a folded ballot paper. After voting, remember to fold the ballot paper how it was given to you. You will then immerse your finger into the electoral ink before placing your ballot into the box. This is a message from the Parliamentary Elections Office.
Welcome back. 4th and 5th form students from secondary schools on the island will be engaged in an electronic career day on Thursday, November 1st, as part of the Grenada Coalition of Services Week. This year, the week of activities is being observed under the theme Services, How We Grow. The GCSI's chairman, Jude Bernard, said the forum will expose the students to experts who will guide them through various career paths and decision making.
Where we bring together all the experts in the different fields in one place, and we link them up electronically. This time we're going to be using, I think, with YouTube. The 4th and 5th forms of every secondary school in Grenada and Carriacou will have access to that feed. They can listen to persons, experts in the field, telling them what are some of the basic requirements and the prerequisites for developing that field, let them know what life is in that area, what opportunities are there.
He said the aim is not only to focus on the entrepreneurs, but to give guidance to those who are upcoming. The service industry in Grenada accounts for over 60% of the country's gross domestic product. At a recent government media brief, Prime Minister Dr. the Right Honourable Keith Mitchell said an increase in services means more growth and positive projections for the economy.
There is increased economic activity in construction, tourism, transport, retail, trade sectors, and of course in services in general. whether it's education services or other services, we are seeing tremendous increases. And it's the case of St. George University, the case in point, where, as you know, is over 22% of the GDP of the country. So whatever happens at St. George University affects the overall growth in the economy of the country.
These students will converge at the Grenada Boys Secondary School's laboratory on Thursday for the session. The 2018 Services Week will end with an award ceremony on Friday. And finally, as the day for making the decision to accede to the Caribbean Court of Justice draws near, Grenadians are reminded that they will vote at the same polling stations as they did on March 13th. Health Minister Honorable Nicholas Steele, during the government's weekly cabinet brief, said although the referendum is not a general election, the same rules will apply on November 6th.
You go vote at the polling station that you would have voted at the last election. So just to clear up, if there's any confusion or misconception, wherever you went to vote in March, on March the 13th, that is where you will go to vote on November 6th. Orderly conduct and of individuals within a polling station area. Most of you will have seen already the marks on the roads clearly identifying where polling stations are. And the rules with respect to voting are the same for an election within that polling station area. So the consumption of alcohol, the congregating of people inside, etc., only to line up to vote, and then you are to leave the voting area.
He explained that individuals can vote with or without their national identification card.
An individual does not need to have a voter registration card to vote at a polling station. They must have their name on the list, and they must be identified or recognized by the returning officer or individuals within the polling station who are working for the Election and Boundaries Office. It is safer for individuals to walk with their voter registration card and a form of ID.
Polling stations open from 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Referendum Day, November 6th. That story just ended the national report for today, Tuesday, October 30th. Let's recap the top story. More nurses could be added to the public service by the end of this year. On behalf of all those who made this newscast possible, I am Rakisha St. Louis saying thank you for viewing. Until next time.
The Ministry of Youth Development, Sports, Culture and the Arts present Youth Week 2018, empowering our youth, shaping our community, protecting our future. The week of activities kicks off on Friday, November 9th with the Minister's Address from 8 p.m. Saturday, 10th November, Health Fair, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Cuthbert Peters Park War, and the Fitness Revolution, 3 p.m. Concord Junction. Sunday, 11th November, it's the Peace Concert, Grenville Bus Terminal. On Tuesday, 13th November, ministers meet with the youth at Her Majesty's Prison. Thursday, 15th November from 5 p.m. It's the Imani Graduation, Youth Awards and Gala. And on Friday, 16th through the weekend, it's the National Youth Service Weekend. Every parish get involved. And on Saturday, 17th November, it's Youth Expo, Explosion Fashion and Cultural Day. 2 p.m. until at Hero Square, Victoria in St. Mark. So remember, Youth Week 2018, November 9th to the 17th.
Reaching one unity, coming together as one. Hear what we say. When you see November 6th, we voting against all the CCJ. Come out and make the right decision. It benefits in everybody. The Caribbean Court of Justice is what I come to CCJ. That's it. 40 years to the CCJ.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is not about me, this is about all of you and all of us. But I want to say one thing before we start. In 1979, a number of our young people did something that reverberated around the world. Something that it may not have lasted forever, but has. In a world of no cell phone and no internet and no fax machine or nothing like that, has established institutions that today we are very proud of. MNIB, National Insurance Board, and the airport. You know, we should have been the first one signing on to the CCJ. We should have been. I don't know what happened, but given what we did then, we should have been the first. So keep that in the back of your minds with those of you who have all the excuses in the world as to why we shouldn't do it.
Grenada is about to embark on another historic mission of amending its constitution for the first time since its independence. From all indication, the push is for the changes to be made before the end of the year, 2 years after the first attempt failed.
I believe the CCJ is an important issue to take a second look at. And we're involving the same people, the community group, the legal professions, and other parties involved. And hopefully we'll have everyone playing a very united role in going forward. Because if we do not work together, then clearly it's not necessarily going to pass. And I think it would be a tragedy of justice for this country and for the Caribbean. But I think it's about time that we stop having faith in everybody else but ourselves. All people, jurists have served regional and international institutions around with distinction. And it would be, to me, almost an insult to say to ourselves that we cannot be responsible for justice in our country.
2 years ago, 8 bills were tabled for constitution change. But this time around, the focus is on one which, if successful, will see the Caribbean Court of Justice replacing the London Privy Council as the final court of appeal. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell, who was re-elected to office by a landslide victory on March 13, 2018, says he intends to play an active role this time around.
And the CCJ so far has demonstrated that it has stood out in terms of its decision-making process. And no one can say that the governments who are now the countries that are now part of the CCJ are getting decisions based on the govern those in political office. So in that sense, the people should be very happy that it's very independent judicial process, and I certainly, as a Grenadian and a Caribbean man, I certainly would want to support it. I will play a much more active role this time than I did the last time.
The bill seeking the constitutional change is already out. It's called the Constitution of Grenada Caribbean Court of Justice and Other Justice-Related Matters Amendment Bill 2018, one of the 8 attempted 2 years ago. It includes almost everything in the 2016 bill, but removed are the sections that speak about the code of conduct for public officials and the swearing allegiance to the country. Debate has continued over the years about doing away with the Privy Council and replacing it with the Caribbean Court of Justice system, the CCJ. The Privy Council in London and the CCJ based in Trinidad are both a final court of appeal that retries civil and criminal cases if the original ruling is thought not to be satisfactory. But proponents argue that the CCJ, formed and operated by the Caribbean people, would allow for a sense of independence and would make access to a fair trial much easier.
The arguments in favor of independence, the CCJ being an independent court, and in fact, the CCJ being one of the most independent courts in terms of structure and appointment.
I'm telling you, I go in and vote, you go in and vote, we go in and vote. Caribbean Court of Justice, she go in and vote, he go in and vote, they go in and vote. Caribbean Court of Justice, Grenada is a little island down here in the Caribbean. We've been through a lot in my lifetime, even revolution. And I must mention Hurricane Ivan. My dream is to see all the island come together as one. We voting yes for Caribbean Court of Justice. We voting yes, 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 yes for Caribbean Court of Justice. I'm telling you, I go in and vote, you go in and vote, we go in and vote. Caribbean Court of Justice, she go in and vote, he go in and vote, they go in and vote. Caribbean Court of Justice. My people, remember, November the 6th, Caribbean Court of Justice is the best choice. Vote yes, the Caribbean Court of Justice. The Caribbean Court of Justice, reaching one unity, coming together as one. Hear what we say. When you see November 6th, we voting yes for the CCJ. Come out and make the right decision, it benefits in everybody. The Caribbean Court of Justice is what I come to promote. So when that time we just stick, make sure you vote and vote, believe it. Let us get it right, I say everything had to fix. One Caribbean, one community. CCJ, yes, they have the remedy. For the CCJ, yeah. Come November 6th, every Caribbean island I calling out one and all. For the CCJ, yeah. Yes, the CCJ, that's it. Vote yes to the CCJ, Get in there, do road. Get in there, are you getting there? Vote yes, are you?
And good morning to you, Grenada, Carriacou, and Pity Martinique. Once again, it is time for Hard Talk. My name is Sheldon Scott.
I'm Devon Romain.
Yeah, he's in studio today. You know, every now and again, you just have to go and hand the scene. Yeah, you understand. All right. Yes, indeed. So how was your night, Devon?
Well, better than the previous.
Yeah.
And so it was all right and so.
Extremely hot, man. Yeah, it's extremely... Hey, Stephen, good morning. My good schoolmate there, man. Stevie, muscle man. Yeah. Morning, bro. We hope that you're having a fabulous morning this morning down there in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah, we know all they had shadow funeral yesterday. Yeah, the dingole in the street, you know. Yeah, the dingole to the baseman in the street, you know. Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom.
Nobody was a stranger.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, there was listening drum and some was looking for horn. Yeah, anyhow. Yeah.
legend himself.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, so, hey, less than a week away, Devon. Less than a week away from that historic vote. Yeah, Grenada going to the referendum next week, Tuesday. I don't think there's anyone on the island that doesn't know that unless they're non-Grenadian and they just happen to come here and they wasn't researching before. Yeah, we're heading to the referendum next week, Tuesday.
Even non-Grenadians know about it and sharing their views.
Yeah.
So,
you'll be surprised. A lot of people from different countries are extremely interested in what is going on here in Grenada. Yeah, as obtains to the CCJ. Yeah. Right. Hey, and we didn't say good morning to the radio stations, but let's say a special good morning to all of the radio stations broadcasting today. 97.5 City Sound FM.
Yeah, 89.5 CRFM.
Campeche. Morning, sir. 92.9 Sister Isle FM.
And in Carriacou. And 94.9 We Vibes Radio in Brooklyn.
Yes,
New York.
Yeah, where Wade is. Yeah.
Kunumunu.
The Kunumunu. Yes. He's classified as Kunumunu.
Yes.
If you look under the dictionary under Kunumunu, you see a picture of him. Yeah, it seems so.
Good morning to all the bus drivers and conductors, the vendors, wherever you are this morning. Good morning to you.
Yes, remember to like and share the live, like and share the live, like and share the live. As we said, we're less than a week away from the
Referendum,
vote. Yeah, less than a week away.
As a matter of fact, the police officers vote on Friday.
Yeah, they've only got 2 days.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they vote on Friday. Obviously, in all elections, the police officers are allowed to vote before. So on the day of election or the referendum, they would be able to do their duties, and ensure that there's security. Good morning and welcome.
Well, you're finding too early in the morning. Huh?
No,
it's
that?
Good morning, Green Car Company, man.
Who's that? The
You guys, you're finding too early in the morning.
Yeah, that's good, man. The morning is bright and sunny in Grenada. We could do anything in Grenada.
Yeah.
Same thing over here.
We don't have to wear coat.
We don't have to wear coat to go outside. Stop lying. Stop lying. You're on national TV. You're on national TV and radio and all kind of thing.
Liar.
I ain't wearing no coat.
Liar. You're cold out there. Hey, hear you. You're sniffing.
I am inside my studio doing some work.
Inside?
What you give me talk about?
Yeah, you should go outside.
Yeah.
Inside your studio,
I was
sunny.
outside all morning.
Yeah, with coat.
No, today is nice. It's nice outside today.
Whatever, man.
Beautiful weather.
What is beautiful weather? Tell us what is beautiful weather around this time.
Well, if
this time, today's weather is real exception. It's exceptionally beautiful. It is about 60-some degrees outside, which is nice, cool weather.
Liar.
Wait.
Liar.
I sleep with my window open and relax. I ain't like, you have to sleep with all your fan all night. They one couldn't sleep for 2 nights now.
Wait.
Okay, you roosting?
Here's what. Since the weather is so nice, we'd like you to go down to Granan's Beach by umbrellas and buy a stack.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I do that just now.
Go ahead, yeah. Since it's...
You know, you get new things as for men. When you got new piece of equipment, it's like a toy.
Yeah,
Christmas this morning.
But it's so nice. I think you should go to Grandan's Beach. Go buy umbrellas.
Yeah.
Have a drink.
Go buy umbrellas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will do that. Yeah, that's a good idea. It's a good idea.
Or you could wait.
Anyway, go inform the nationals and the non-nationals about the importance of next week Tuesday. And a matter of fact, next week Tuesday, right here, we're having a voting party. So referendum in Grenada and the midterms in the United States.
Wow.
Coming off the road early, getting off the plantation early, and we having a manicu and thing next week Tuesday.
All right.
And Mr. Watch, don't forget my main ingredients, please, sir.
Oh, let's sell
anyway,
out.
Guys, have a good day.
Look at real sell out Watson. I ain't lying, boy. What?
Hey, listen. I didn't say nothing, Miss Carmen, I have something to say yesterday. Say, I wanted to Mr. Mrs. What? I said, what? And that was shortly after I get off the phone with him.
Wait.
Right?
You're sure it's not possum you're gonna cook and you're saying manicu?
Watch me, right now, you say that twice, gas might come along and you have to have a deal with them. Because if anything is gas, I give me the possum.
We don't have possum in grade. Have a good morning, bro.
I don't know what intonation are they talking about.
Gas go deal with you this morning. Campus go deal with you this morning because he eating possum. You gotta go here first. I joke about that one. That right side, Jack me here.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Later.
All right, guys.
Let's
meet that.
Let me say a special good morning to Lady Cammy down there in the town of St. George on the bus terminal, folks. She has a sale going on. Watch. Cammy have Pampers selling. Cammy have clothes selling. If you want shoes, link up. She go organize you. If you want, she have fruits selling. Watch. It's like one-stop shop. You're getting everything there.
By Cammy and soap. Just buy.
Even Andal, all you're getting is groceries by Cammy. You're getting down to groceries and clothes.
Groceries, clothes, everything.
And you're getting
vegetable.
And you're getting a drink.
And real talk.
So pass by Cammy. You know, she has the little medical issue. She wants to go and sort it out. She's not the type of person going and tell people, come and handle this and come and handle that. It's a lady that fight up and try and do things on her own. So right now, she's asking for your support. Come and buy something. All right? So pass by, Lady Cammy. See what you get. All right? Nice. Beautiful. So morning to you, Cam. You know we love you. Mwah! Right.
Morning there.
Good morning.
And don't let those you have some big belly boss men, they don't let it come and give no talk and thing,
So you go sing a song. I ain't driving with no big belly man. Big belly man. Big belly man. I ain't driving with no big belly man.
Oh God, Lord.
Let me behave myself, huh? Yes, indeed, folks. Hey, but quite a lot has been happening in Grenada. And we're coming up on the throne speech, and very soon after the throne speech, we're coming up on the budget presentation. And I'm very excited with some of the information that you've been hearing over the past couple of days. With that information, I'm very excited to hear what comes across in the budget presentation. Yeah? To understand that the economy of Grenada is expected to grow by 5.2%, Devon.
Wow.
5.2%. That is the projected growth for the economy of Grenada. Now, some people may say, 5.2% your economy growing here. What does that mean for me? No, it means a lot for you. Because other economies, even if you join the economic growth or lack thereof in Trinidad, Barbados, and Jamaica, it still doesn't measure up to the economic growth taking place in Grenada. They're watching us course,
They want to know what we're doing.
Yeah.
How we doing it.
And how do you measure that? While Trinidad is saying that the government cannot be spending billions of dollars on the Point-a-Pierre oil refinery, and therefore they need to close it and create a new company and reopen it and hire back some of the people. So they have sent retrenchment letters to over 2,000 people in Trinidad. That's just those that are attached to Petrotrin. So you're talking over 2,000 people have gotten retrenchment letters. That's a letter that says your services are no longer required. We thank you for the time that you spent working with us. Yeah? They have received that. They get a little one-off payment, and they're looking at Christmas not knowing how they're going to make two ends meet, because imagine you might have been working there in the oil refinery for an extended period of time, which is a statutory body. Trinidad government owns part of it, which is why they've been putting money into it. And they've ended up in a situation where, one, they have to buy, Trinidad, an oil-producing country, had to buy most of the oil from outside of Trinidad to keep that oil refinery running, because other than that, it didn't make sense to run the oil refinery with the amount of oil that Trinidad itself was producing. So let's say they needed 100,000 and Trinidad only producing 50, they had to buy 60,000 barrels of oil outside of Trinidad. Just to run. That didn't make any economic sense.
No sense at all.
That's one part of it. So these workers, some of whom may have their mortgage in the unit trust or the credit union or the banks and so on, these workers who may be owing a little 500,000, I say little, yeah, a 500,000, a 200,000, even $1 million, they're not working again. They don't know what is going to happen with them. They're facing down the barrel of Christmas in desperation right now. When it gets to the stage that the president of the Oilfield Workers Trade Union get his retrenchment letter too, you know things bad. The president of the union, Ansel Roger, he got his retrenchment letter too.
Well, he should get it first. Yeah.
And he was telling them workers don't take the retrenchment letter. He take your own though.
Oh, yeah, you have no choice.
Yeah. So they got their retrenchment letters. They are going home. That's the situation that workers in a neighboring country are facing, whose economy is not doing as well as ours. And they have a broad-based economy, manufacturing, oil, gas, etc. Tourism is not a big thing for them, agriculture, all of that. They have their economy diversified. Services, industry, and so. And imagine that you're seeing that happening in the oil industry. With that itself taking place there are many other thousands of workers who are on the breadline now. Because you have the ladies and the men who work in the restaurants and so that are in areas like Claxton Bay, Marbella, Gasparillo, and so on that surround the Point-a-Pierre oil refinery. They're going home too. Because there are no workers coming there to buy no such a thing again.
They have to relocate, find somewhere else.
If they have 3, they might keep 1 and send home 2 and tell the other one, if things pick up a bit, we call you back. Tell one we might call you back. But they are going to reduce. those workers are going home too. The people who work in the industry that provides the uniform and the boots and all these other things, and there are literally thousands of them. If you know southern Trinidad, there are literally thousands of them between San Fernando, Marabella, Vista Bella, Claxton Bay and all these other areas around there. They're going home too. So you're not talking just the 2,000 plus at the oil refinery, you're talking several thousand others outside there. That is what the economy of Trinidad looks like right now.
It's a ripple effect, man.
Yeah, that's what they look like right now. Yeah. Then you move next door to Barbados.
Wow.
Where Prime Minister Mia Mottley says to the people of Barbados, when opposition leader, that what the Bajan government had done 5 years ago was the wrong thing by sending home thousands of people. And that her party would not do that. She comes into office, she sees the true state of the economy, and she, even up to July, is saying to the Barbadian people, we're not going to send no set of people home. That will be the last resort. We're not going to go that. That's going to be the absolute last resort. And then in October, she announces we have to send home 1,500 people. There's no way.
Last resort.
And we're going to deal with it last in, first out. So in other words, the last people that they hired are the first people to be fired. Oh, yeah. So the last set of people that have come into the public service in Barbados are the first set of people that are going to be sent out of the public service in Barbados. Wow. And that is what is taking place. 1,500 people, people with children, people with families. She had no option because the state of their economy is so bad that she had absolutely, imagine, this is something that she's not breaking a promise as such, but it's that she had no other option. It's not like she had another option and she decided we're going to take this one. She had no other option. Meanwhile, in Grenada, we had 850 young people under the Imani program, taken 850, while maintaining those who are already under the program. So you didn't tell the others under the program, you have to go home for us to take 850.
Nope.
You maintain them, and you've brought in an additional 850, and 500 young men in specific, who you're going to provide an opportunity to empower through the Empower program. Yesterday in Carriacou, they had the launch in Carriacou of the Carriacou branch of the Empower program and the Imani program. So over 100 young people on the Sister Isle of Carriacou are going to be engaged in the Empower program and the Imani program. So imagine that. While other countries, Trinidad, you're looking at thousands going home. Barbados, you're looking at the same kind of thing. And here in Grenada, we're speaking about growth of the economy of 5.2%. And you're speaking of the engagement of more people, not the sending home of people.
And that is what, I mean, persons not understanding, right? Because they keep talking about, oh, Grenada is in this state and so, but they're not paying attention to what is going on around us. Our economy is, I mean, we are the top right now. We got to be proud of that. As a people, we are disciplined. We have become much more disciplined than before, right? And much more organized. And so Dr. Mitchell has led this team into, I mean, putting back Grenada into a prosperity mode.
My good friend here has reminded me that also the contracted labor at Petrotrin in Trinidad, they're going home too. So those are the people that have the contracts to perform a specific job, maybe painting of a facility, do welding or pipe fitting in a particular area, or carry out to carry out some other thing. So the contracted labor, and those are smaller companies that are hired to provide a service to Petrotrin. They're going home too. So not even talking about the 2,000 and so, who, number one, they have a problem because even if you spend X amount of time working with Petrotrin now, if Petrotrin doesn't exist again, what takes place with your pension that you're supposed to get? You're getting your one-off payment and so, but what about your pensions? So that's another case. Meanwhile, here in Grenada, we are arguing about a 2%. I think they say the 2%, they don't want to take the 2%.
Start off, that's the starting point.
But after we've gotten to this level, and I listen to LL, but after we've gotten to this level, I find it, and I'm going to say this directly as it is, this is me speaking, I find it disrespectful and unfortunate to say that they don't care about keeping the limits and so on and making sure that you have the economy on the right trajectory, that they refuse to abide by the Fiscal Responsibility Act. You have thousands going home in other countries. Your union, LL, your union had literally hundreds of people that had to wait every September to hear if the Ministry of Education going to call them and give them a letter so that they could return to teach, who are now permanently employed, who could go to Republic Bank or Cooperative Bank or Scotia Bank or Ariza Credit Union or Grenville Credit Union. They can go wherever, and they are permanent workers. They now have that ability to be able to go and take a loan for an extended period of time and not a short-term loan or a mortgage and do different things. These individuals, literally hundreds of them, have gotten permanent employment under this administration because of the fiscal responsibility this government has been working with. So it was okay when was to get your people permanent into the system. Yeah, it was okay. Government technically isn't under a responsibility to pay any pensions to persons after the year 1985. The persons between the 1983 and 1985 who were part of the Hermelin-Armstrong case, those persons, $7 million was paid to those 40-something persons or so, and government fulfilled its obligation. But that obligation, in case a lot of people don't understand, does not extend to everybody within the public service now, unless they were in the service before, I think it's March of 1985. It doesn't extend to them. Yeah? But government on its own has said, let us treat with these people. All of the persons within the public service, we believe that they have to get a gratuity. We believe that they have to get a pension. There is nothing legally that says government had to do that. The Hermelin-Armstrong case dealt with the period 1983 when the law was passed to when it was enacted in 1985. It does not deal with anybody that came into the service. The thousands who are there now afterwards, they are not covered by that. But government of its own free will decided, no, these people are working, they're contributing to the country, they are working hard, and they have to be treated fairly. And as such, we are going to provide them with their pensions, the proper pensions under the new scheme, and we're also going to give them a little gratuity and so. Now you're telling government you don't care about that. You don't care about that. They didn't have to do it, you know. But you're telling them, no, the public needs to know. You're saying you don't care about that, right? You want that percentage and that is what you want. You don't care if that damages the fiscal response. If government spends over the amount it's supposed to spend, it doesn't stay within that strict guideline. You're saying you don't care about staying within that strict guideline. So you don't care that at the end of the day, you might end up in a situation again as we were in prior to 2013 where you can't pay salaries.
Some of them want us to go back there.
Yeah? When public workers, when time like this now, so the 31st of the month, they're looking over the show, they say, me ain't bothering to go in the teller because nothing inside there.
Nothing reach yet. I'll get that 2 days still.
I'll go get that 2, I will check weekend. Yeah? And then when they check weekend and think they say, shoot, boy, like them people and them later again, boy, I gotta check next week. Yeah?
And in the meantime, the interest on your mortgage and other loans and everything going up, eh?
That's so, if you get paid too, because they used to conveniently forget to pay some people during that period of time. People who are paying every month, and all of a sudden, 1 or 2 months, because what they used to do is rotate it, so they know they can't pay everybody. So they choose about 6 or 7 people in a particular department. They say, we will just forget to pay them this month.
Yeah, for a week.
Yeah, but we pay the others, right? And forget to pay them. So then these people sometimes you see they didn't get a salary, wonder what's going on, and then your salary come in next month and all kind of stupidness. So this is what was taking place before. That has been fixed. Also, government itself has been showing its responsibility. Yeah, government itself has been showing its responsibility by reducing the amount of money it spends on various areas, reducing the amount of money spent on stationery, and not just cutting the spending, but saving by reducing wastage. So it's not just to say you cut on spending and you ain't spending no more on stationery so people need paper and they can't get. No, it's reducing wastage. Send an email, send a WhatsApp. Yeah, instead of printing a set of paper and sending out.
Buying a set of envelopes and so.
Well, even the most expensive part, the ink, they are ink. ink toners that I've seen being used before that cost $400 to $600 for one. And in some of the printers, nothing prints unless you have all the ink in, and then each one of the toners used to be like $400 according to the type of printer that you're using.
How long that lasts?
Well, that's the thing.
Sometimes
The amount of printing that you're doing, it could last a month, it could last a couple months, but it's according to the volume of printing that you're doing in that particular area. So you had these sort of things. Government reduced on all of that. That's one area. They reduced on electricity usage so that the facilities, the schools and so on, you have lights on in the classroom with nobody inside there during the night time. Sometimes the lights on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If it have a holiday, Monday too, lights on in the classroom in a school, the electricity bill is going up and it's costing you, the taxpayer. Government in the first year were able to save a couple $1 million in electricity and water. The next thing, you had facilities and you had pipes that burst and run in water. I remember a story.
Leakage.
I remember a story from then Senator Kenny Lalsing with the youth center. The youth center's bill comes in at a specific level, and they were reviewing, unlike what people did before, they were reviewing. So if you see every month, let's just use a hypothetical figure. If every month the water bill is coming in at $300, and then you realize next month all of a sudden you see the water bill comes in for $2,000, you have to know that something is wrong.
Big time.
They sent a team in. The team look at the youth center. They check the toilets, everything normal. They check right around, everything normal. Where do you think the problem was? Underground. Yeah. A pipe was burst underground and was giving off gallons of water. So they, by looking at the bill, noticed that there was a problem and were able to address it. You couldn't see it physically. Where that was leaking, you wouldn't see it.
Yeah. Not like electricity.
Yeah.
You could, detect. And
that the light on.
Yeah.
But you would not have seen it. So what they did, they strategized and they looked to see that the bill, no, something wrong here. If it's 333, all of a sudden it's 2,000, no, something wrong. And they looked and they found the problem. And that is what has been taking place with schools. That has been taking place with health centers. Yeah. Yeah. That has been taking place with the ministerial complex, financial complex, other government buildings and so on. Around the Tri-Island, from Petit Martinique down to Carriacou, down to Grenada, that you've been finding these sort of problems taking place, leaving under the lights, water leaking, nobody reported, nobody sending. So they've got teams of people in each area now that go out and deal with the issues. Like they have plumbers, that their job is for a specific zone, that they would go and fix those problems in the soonest possible time to reduce the amount of money government has to go and spend now on water and on electricity and so on. Fuel. Yeah? From the putting on of the GPS to other measures that were taken. Reduce the amount of fuel that government had to pay for on a monthly basis by a significant figure.
A lot of wastage in vehicular movement and so, and not just fuel, but the other accessories, the tires, oil, everything, right, that is being used by these vehicles. Everything was cut down to a minimum, right? And that is good because, we all know, right, before, the amount of wastage and so that used to happen within the public sector when it comes to vehicles. On a weekend, you see you have workers had a vehicle for the whole weekend going out on private errands and all kind of things, not government work, you understand? All in the night and all this. That is fuel that that you, the taxpayer, has to spend for, right? Come on.
But not even if the person who's using the vehicle spend for their fuel, the wear and tear on the vehicle still comes back to you, the taxpayer.
Exactly.
So that's the sort of thing.
Brakes,
so generally what is done now is that if you're seeing a government vehicle on the weekend, it's because that particular department has staff that are working on the weekend and need to be transported, or they're having an activity and therefore staff need to be transported. And so I can tell you, like for the Ministry of Sports, I don't think they have a day that the vehicle is not. Because on the weekend, you have the swimmers, you have cricketers, you have footballers, you have basketballers, you have netballers, you have various people that you have to transport from location A to location B. Then within the Department of Youth, you have different programs that are taking place, that they have weekend classes and so they're always up and about and so on. Foreign affairs is a total different thing. Foreign affairs, the vehicle, late in the night you will see a G vehicle, And most time is a Ministry of Foreign Affairs vehicle, especially in the south of the island, transporting dignitaries from location A to location B, or the staff that had to go down to the airport sometime 2 and 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, all sorts of things for when dignitaries coming in or leaving and that sort of thing. So you could understand in those instances. But there have been in the past instances of abuse, and the Prime Minister has spoken about it. In every department, there have been instances of abuse. And that is what government is clamping down on. If we've been able to achieve so much with clamping down so far and all the things that have been clamped down on, imagine what could be achieved in the future.
A lot. You know, I've seen the Ministry of Health implement a system with the hospital in St. Andrews to the hospital and Ministry of Health in St. George's. Every day when you have things coming up to St. Andrews or St. Andrews going down to St. George's, head office, whatever, they have 2 vehicles. Both of them meet in 1910 Granite Town. And they exchange whatever, sign whatever. The vehicle from Grenville go back down. The vehicle from
So you're not losing a vehicle from St. Andrew and you're not losing one from St. George.
Exactly.
And as I said, Ministry of Health.
All these things.
As I said, Ministry of Health, we're going to have a full complement of 10 ambulances before the end of the year.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the PAHO standard and the World Health Organization for a population our size and a country our size, they suggest that you have at least 10 ambulances for a population our size. And we should be at that number by the end of November.
Because we have a number of them already.
Yeah. We started the year with 5, and then we had about 2 or 3 that came in, and now we have 2 or 3 coming in now to make up the other 5. So that we're going to have a full complement. And we're not talking about used ambulances and things somebody pack in a container and send them. We're talking about brand new ambulances here. Yeah, you've been seeing them on the roads. Yeah, so brand new ambulances that are coming down. Yeah? So you have that taking place. And as I'm talking about that, before I go further on health, when you look at the ambulances, there's something that I think we need to note as a people. When someone is injured, because I was hearing certain things about a young man that died recently, and some people are saying, well, they don't take him up and run. No, Popo. Wrong move. Yeah? Somebody's injured, call the ambulance. If the person is in immediate danger of being run over or something, that's the only time you move them when there is an accident. If they're in danger, for instance, there's gasoline flowing. Vehicles these days, they have a kill switch on it. So this thing about vehicles crash and blowing up and thing, that doesn't happen. Not regularly. Yeah? Because they do have a kill switch and thing to stop that from happening. They're built to stop that from happening. Right? So with that, Nazim, look, they're calling you outside here. Duncan, where you want?
Nazim.
Look him, Nazim. Look Duncan there. Right, yeah. So if you're afraid to say it on here? Right, okay. Yeah. So they're built, because you know long time in the movies they say anytime a car crash, yeah, boom, and you see the car blow up and that kind of thing. No, that doesn't happen these days. But if there's fuel leaking and there's a possibility that there may be a spark that could cause a fire or something, and you need to move the persons away from that, you do that very, very carefully. Because if you lift a person in the wrong way, if you try to move a person in the wrong way, what you think you're doing good, you may be doing something bad. You may actually shift the person's spinal cord or the neck in the wrong way and paralyze them. I know of cases of that happening before. Yeah? So when a person is injured after an accident, do not take them and throw them in the back of a van and thing and rush to the hospital with them. The bouncing up and down in the van, that person may never walk again if they survive. Yeah? The best thing to do is to make sure that you isolate the person. Yeah, no set of people supposed to be standing over them with no cell phone taking video. That's disgusting. Yeah? Come on, man. I mean, 2018, like some of we leave with brain home when we go out. Yeah? Taking phone and taking picture. You're not trying anything to make sure that the person is safe, Nothing like that. You're there with a cell phone taking video.
Yeah, and send it all over the place. That's disgusting, man. That,
Yeah?
I don't know.
Before the person's family could be informed something happened there on Facebook and they see it come across the timeline. Start a ball along the place. You could cause somebody to get a heart attack. But some people don't care because they're looking for likes. They're looking for no likes. So I'm saying it as it is. Leave the people where they are unless they are in danger. If it is in a thoroughfare that you have vehicles like they're coming around a corner and so on, they may run over the person or the people or whatever. In that case, you try to move them to a safer location, to the side, to a safer location and wait for the ambulance.
Yep.
Yeah? Devon, you've done triage. You're a military person. You've done triage and you know the best thing to do. Wait for the medical personnel.
And
Yeah?
as you say, in case of emergency, if you have to shift them from one place to another,
Mhm.
and you still got to take your time, pay attention, like you never know. Like, and if you do have to do it, right, in the case like the ambulance may not be here or whatever, there are certain things that you can do, right? But again, you have to go through all the little, things to know of them, and that is, Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, my friend. How you do?
Yeah. I want to know two things. Well, first, I want to know one, and then I'll make a comment on another one. How do I know when a country is enjoying success, like you say, the economy is growing? How do you reflect on the poor man? What do I have to look for? The things I have to look for. And the second thing is the CCJ. The history of the Caribbean is that the bigger countries tend to get more leverage when you're doing certain things with them. Like, take an example, cricket, where you might find a guy from Grenada or from St. Lucia, the smaller island, get a hard deal when coming to making the West Indies team. If it happened that, in a case where, let's say with another country like Trinidad, do you think that they would be fair to me as a small island people?
Yes.
A small island man. I will listen off there.
No problem. Yeah. I'll deal with the second one first. When it comes to the CCJ, there's no big island and there's no small island. There's law. Yeah? That's the only thing that the CCJ deals with. It doesn't deal with personalities. It doesn't deal with individuals. It doesn't deal with you walk in court dressed nice and I like you. It doesn't deal with the fact that you're from the island of Trinidad or the island of Barbados. It deals with what the law says. And I think that's what we have to understand. The CCJ deals with law, not personalities, not nationalities, not citizenships. It deals with what the law says. For instance, a young lady from Jamaica took on the Barbados government. Yeah? Now, the Barbados government is one of the governments that has the CCJ as the final appellate court. So you could have said that this young lady from Jamaica, who does not have the CCJ as the final appellate court, would have had no chance, even though her case was in the original jurisdiction, according to the CARICOM Treaty of Free Movement. You would have thought that this young lady, with no big name, no big job, just an ordinary citizen, taking on the Bajan government, who fully in the CCJ, would have lost. But no, they dealt with her case based on law. So it has nothing to do with what country you're from. It has nothing to do with anything but what the law says. Yeah? So the CARICOM Treaty, the Treaty of Chaguaramas, and the other treaties such as the Treaty of Grandance and so on, that deal with various aspects of trade and free movement and so on within the CARICOM region. Anytime those are breached, the CCJ will deal with the law and how it was breached or not breached and come to a judgment based on that. Not if the person is from Trinidad and the CCJ is sitting in Trinidad. Not if the person is a Grenadian and one of the judges in the CCJ is a Grenadian. They deal with what the law says. So it has nothing to do with anything but what the law says. In the original jurisdiction, they're dealing with the Treaty of Chaguaramas, the Grenada, the Grandance Declaration, and all of those other laws and treaties that encompass CARICOM. So they're dealing with those. Freedom of movement, so that you cannot be unduly harassed when you enter another CARICOM territory and so on, and how you are treated according to the laws in that other country. That's what they deal with. They don't deal with what country you come from. They don't care. They don't care if you come from Grenada. They don't care if you come from St. Vincent or Barbados or Antigua. They deal with the law, and that's what we want. You don't want somebody feel that, okay, I am an Anguillan, and one of the judges is an Anguillan as well, and therefore, because I'm an Anguillan, I'm going to rule in favor of the Anguillan. No, you want somebody that take that out of their mind, because one of the judges on the CCJ is Bajan. And in nearly every case that go up against Barbados, they lose.
One is St. Vincent, John.
Yeah, he could have say, well, watch, Barbados, that's my home country, I have to go home, And they could have know about what the law says is what. The law says they deal with the law. They don't care about what country they come from, what country you come from. It's what the law says. And that is what judges are supposed to do. Yeah? That said, you also asked about how does the improvements in the economy affect the poor man. Look at the state right now of employment in Grenada. Now, the employment figures pretty soon. In fact, I'm pretty sure that by the end of the first quarter of 2019, if not already, we'll be talking about unemployment in the teens. In 2013, we would have been talking about unemployment somewhere around 40%. We're going to be talking about try and find a young man to do a job right now.
It's difficult, not just
try and find a young man to do a job right now.
Watch, even the new programs that they have, including the bushing and the wardens and so
that take up 8,500 people, you know.
What I'm saying, and even that, they can't find people to fill some of the spaces. And so, I mean, that's amazing. And then
and it still take up 8,500 people. And now the wardens, remember, the wardens are more permanent employment.
Yeah.
They are continuous work.
Yeah, right around.
And then you have the bushing that is the fortnight. They get a little, what is called, that 420 or 430. That's how it does call it. 420 or something does call it. I can't remember. It's 4 something that does get and does call it that.
432.
432.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. They say the 432.
Yeah.
Right. That's the people with the fortnight.
Yeah, 432 and 336.
Right. And then the wardens and them are more permanent things, constantly cleaning the drains, cleaning this, cleaning that, and so on. And I did ask some questions about, especially in the south of the island, when it comes to the issue of the removal of the dirt.
That is a sticking point. Yeah.
Now, one of the issues there were that when the trucks initially went to remove the rubble at the side of the road, what was taken out of the drain, in the morning time, they were informed by the authorities, the police force, that they should not go that time, because what was happening is that traffic was backing up, and that's all, which is true. In the south of the island, once a truck parked to do that kind of thing, you're going to back up traffic. Yeah. So they had to come to an arrangement, because then they couldn't do it that time. And if they did it at the night, the place they had to go and dump it, Beaujeu, was closed. There was nobody there. So they couldn't do it in the daytime, and they couldn't do it at night. So that's why it was staying there for a long period of time. But that has been worked out right now between the Royal Grenada Police Force and with the staff there in Beaujeu and the Ministry of Works and the teams, and so they've worked that out now so there could be easier transportation, because that was a problem. They were told that they couldn't go in the daytime in certain areas to remove it, because I myself was having issues with it. They were told they can't go to remove it certain times of the day, and then in the night time, when they go to remove it, the place closed. Yeah. So it's like you could fill the truck and you had to leave the truck with it until the next morning just to go and dump it, and then wait the next night to go and fill the truck again, because you couldn't drop it in the night.
And then what that would cause, that would encourage truckmen to go and dump it where they're not supposed to dump it. Understand? So that day is key.
Yeah. So that has been worked out now. So I believe we'll be seeing more and more of it.
Removal on a timely basis.
In a timely way.
And that is good. Right? That is what we need to see. And
so that's one aspect of it. The caller asked about the effects of the economy. So the improvements in the economy, one, it means that you're able to access more grant funding. And I'm being specific here, not loans, grant funding. When people look and they see your economy has improved, you'd be able to access more funding for programs and projects. That's money that you don't have to repay. Yeah? That's money that's based on your quote-unquote good behavior. Yes. Yeah, like Santa Claus pass and he get a something Christmas time.
Good, good management skills.
Good behavior.
Yes, and everything like that, yeah.
So that is what happens. Also, it means when you manage better that you would have more money to place into other areas. We've seen that the elderly have received an increase per household. Yeah? I need to be specific here because I don't want people feeling that, wait, so some people get 150 and I didn't get. No, remember, if it's a husband and wife, both of them receiving, and one would get the increase and the other wouldn't get because it's per household. All right? So the elderly people, the reason that they were able to get that increase, and they might get another increase sometime in the future, you never know, was because the economy is improving. And with that increase, you're still kept within the fiscal responsibility area. You also would be getting funding to be able to do other things, like, for instance, fix your roads. Now, we've got to a stage that, yeah, you patch the roads, but there are projects that are being put together to redo entire sections of roads. The patching is one thing, but eventually you'll have to redo entire sections of roads.
Had to rebuild.
Yeah, entire sections. And before we go any further, in fact, I'll come back to that one. Yeah, so you have to redo entire sections of roads. Also, when your economy is buoyant, your economy is moving forward, and more people have spending power, it's better for your farmers, because a man could go in town with some okra and he go sell. He could go in town with some cabbage because people have money to buy. So he going to sell. Right? So it's better for your farmers. It's better for your fishermen. It's better for your poultry farmers. Yeah, it's better for the people who have the stores in the town and so on, because more people have money in their hand. If you have 8,500 people over the last couple of months within the bushing and the environmental warden program, those people have spending power. If they didn't have a salary getting, they would sit down at home. Yeah. So the little bar and all, the people just pass by Chucky and bar look a beer. Chucky! That pass by Chucky and bar look a beer and thing. Or the people who might go down by Garfield, Garfield's bar and bar look a beer. Or they might pass by the plywood. Down by Grenville, who pass by we boy the oh gosh. Tuffy? Is Tuffy that's right?
Tuffy on the inside there.
Yeah. Pass by he and buy a look of something. You understand?
Or even by Travelers Bar right there in Point.
Yeah, you pass by Short Man and get a look of something. Like the pea soup the holding for me and Nazim today.
I'll stop that tripping. Because you see, I get vexed. You
know technically you are doing, right? Because like the pea soup, Yvette and Short Man holding for me and Nazim today. All right. Yeah. I'm just making sure they know, right?
Yeah.
Okay, right.
But yeah, I won't know when you have fish at all. It's all Short Man.
It does have fish on the evenings. You does be busy on the evenings. It does be fish on the evening. Grilled fish, but it does be busy. And which is the best fish you go ever eat. Anyway, let me stop advertising. Yeah.
Short Man, you know delivery service, man. These guys are transporting a Short Man. I don't have. You see, that's the thing, eh? The transportation problem that's rallying.
If we live in that evening, we will go buy Short Man. You must get a fish. And I tell you, once you get a fish, but the only two places that could get me to eat fish, Short Man and Mickey. Up in that is Woban or Calavini. And Azim?
Woban.
Well, Calavini, no, it's Calavini or Woban?
On top of the hill, eh?
Because that's kind of in the middle of Calavini and Woban by Mickey.
Yeah, and you go up on the hill.
Yeah, when Mickey get a fish day, boy, I ain't tell you, boy. When he get a fish in that foil with that little current thing. Anyway, nice, right? But yeah, these are the ways that you can tell that your economy is improving for the poor man. Yeah? It does filter down. It does filter down. So more and more people are getting employed. Yeah, we're not saying everybody's employed. We're saying more and more people are getting employed. Right. We're saying more and more people are able to benefit from government programs, be it the book assistance program, be it the uniform assistance program, be it the transportation and so on assistance program. More and more people are able to benefit from the various programs that government has. Yeah, I think we have a call.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning, my friend.
Yeah, I heard the representative, what's her name, Miss Carly Josie for her name. She was giving some figures. If you're moving into the CCJ or you're staying in the Privy Council. I know you guys always deal with facts, so I want to hear it from both sides. I want to know what is the price difference when you're moving into the CCJ. Somebody will have to pay to have a case in the CCJ.
Mm-hmm. No problem.
Thank you.
All right. Mm-hmm. Right, and that's the second caller, so you know. Right. It's simple. Ms. Claudette Joseph is trying her best to misrepresent the facts. The facts are the agreement that put the CCJ in place says that when it comes to a case in the appellate jurisdiction, that a case cannot be brought there if it is less than $25,000 in worth. And we're saying $25,000 here. We're not talking about the lawyer's fee and all of that. We're talking about if it's worth that. Suppose the case is over a car and the car is worth over $25,000, $25,000 and above, you can bring it. If it's worth less than that, that you can't bring it. But the same agreement also says that that is only applicable. You can only apply that figure if there is not something in the constitution of the country or a law in the country that sets a different figure. That's the part she leaves out. That's the part she doesn't want to include in the discussion.
Conveniently.
Now, in the Constitution of Grenada and also in the bill that has been presented, there is the figure of $1,500. So $1,500 is the base figure. Now, you could represent yourself. You don't necessarily need a lawyer, according to the case. Yeah, although it's always better to get a lawyer. But technically, you can represent yourself. So you could decide that I'm representing myself in this matter, and the matter is worth $1,500 or maybe $2,000 that somebody owe you, and you take them to kind of going up to the final court with it or whatever. You have the ability to do that. The $25,000 does not apply to Grenada because our constitution, which is the supreme law for all Grenadians, nobody could come and breach that. The supreme law for all Grenadians, the Constitution of Grenada, says $1,500. Now she's saying that's being replaced, but what in the bill itself continues to say and maintains the $1,500. So there's no confusion, there is no discoloration, there's no muddying of the water in relation to the figure. The figure remains the same as it is right now to go to the Privy Council, $1,500. The $25,000 in no way comes into play because in the agreement with the $25,000, it says that whatever is in your constitution in your individual country or what law is in place in your individual country supersedes and overrules whatever is in the CCJ agreement when it comes to that particular issue. Simple.
So you know, that your constitution and what it says is supreme.
Yeah.
Over what the CCJ and them and you see, and so then now it leaves the room for the average Grenadian to be able to go to the CCJ, $1,500, right? And trust me, which case that you as an individual would want to go and it wouldn't worth. That you wouldn't. Try to. There may be an exception, right? So the $25,000, yes, it's there. That's the agreement. But what is in your constitution, in your country like Grenada, what it says within your constitution, that is what stands when you as a Grenadian wants to go to the CCJ. All right, that's the cap.
I think we missed our call. Oh, yes. I see the phone line ringing again. Let's go to the phone.
Good morning and welcome.
Hello.
Good morning.
Oh no, my mistake.
Okay.
Caller, whoever was trying to call just now, that was totally my mistake. I hit the wrong button. It is not a problem on your end. It's a problem on my end with my finger. I hit the wrong button. All right. So let's make sure I hit the right button this time. All right.
Good morning and welcome.
Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah. Hello.
Hi, morning, Mr. Scott.
Morning, lady.
Morning, how you doing? How do you know what Miss phone had to put it to charge? Morning, Devon.
Good morning, Kami.
How are you this morning? Hello?
Yes, we listen to you.
Yeah. I want to say good morning to everybody that is listening, and thank you very much, Sheldon, for letting the people know. You know, let them come and buy. Let them come and buy something. So I could put that little $5 away so on already to go and seek medical help because I really need that, eh?
Yes, yes.
Right. And I want you to pass because I get the thing, eh?
Okay,
I
wonderful.
get the thing for you.
Nice, I'll be down.
So, you know, I can't keep it all empty. When you finish work, you're going to pass and get it, and you're going to please you already.
Oh,
and
okay.
good morning to Mr. Depodine and his wife and his son, and the Praisers and the Chase, and the Cox, Cathy and Cox in New York, all the Grenadians out there. Is Asham there in Grenada today?
That's why I'm not going to ask you if you have Asham.
No, the man don't bring it yet to grind and grind.
Okay.
Because you have a lot of people grinding.
Last night
So
my son asked
I will
me.
get some grind today.
Last night my son asked me for.
And Sheldon, you know something? Despite all what I'm going through in pain, I'm here making an honest dollar. I don't go begging. You know, I'm here with pain, and I'm here making my little dollar. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
That is the beauty of it. Well, I want to say good morning, special good morning to Senator Williams. Last night he was at Boca School.
And that girl could talk,
And we had a nice session, and that young lady
she's sweet too much.
explained everything to us about the CCJ. She explained it to us so you could understand what you're going and vote for. And I'm very proud of that child because I see that little girl go up to convent every morning.
Yes.
I'm proud of her. I want to say good morning to her and to the rest of the people. And now we're going out. We go and support. And I hope the people go out next week and do the right thing. You understand?
Yes,
there is people in Grenada that don't want that to happen. He wants NDC that was in power. And they want us to pass the CCJ. They will not tell nobody to vote no. You understand? They will not tell nobody to vote no. But it's because under this government that is in ruling now, they don't like it, the Prime Minister, Dr. Kit Mitchell. But that is not politics thing, it's not Dr. Kit Mitchell thing. It's for we children and we grandchildren. Because I listen to most of the people in different sessions and they explain it to us. You understand? So I'm pleading to my Grenadian people all to go out and do what is right. You understand? Go out and do what is right. It's not a politics thing as they keep telling us. So good morning again to everybody. Patty, everybody, Mr. Watts and his wife, everybody. And he have nice fish, nice snapper in the fish house. That is the beauty of Grenada.
Down the road.
That's the beauty of Grenada.
All right, my love. Make sure Mr.
Have
Watts
a nice
get you on
day
it.
and pass for your stuff.
Okay, my love.
All right?
All right.
Bye-bye.
Well, we know we good part now. Watts go past and get he on. He and them ladies in the fish market, they had a running agreement. But Devon, before I forget, there are two important things I need to tell you all today. One, persons who are interested, you have to be over the age of 25. Yeah. Persons who are interested in working on cruise ships, males. It is not the government saying they only want males for this. It is the company, Trinity something or the other. They are looking for some men to work on cruise ships. So if you have a good character, you ain't using drugs, you haven't been jailed and arrested and all kind of thing for chopping up people and all kind of thing like that. No, I'm telling you, don't waste your time if you go through all of that because you will not get through. If you cannot have a clean police certificate or character, you ain't getting through.
Forget that.
So if you know you haven't committed any major crimes and so you're above the age of 25, you can bring a resume, type up a nice looking resume quick. Go and do it now. You could even stop listening to her talk and go and do it now.
Get it done.
Go and do it. Take 2 pictures and run down to the Ministry of Labor and drop it in so that you could get the opportunity to work on a cruise ship. Secondly, I just got a message from some of my people in the UK. They're taking people from Grenada for the British Army again. Yeah, I actually got it from someone who is in the army in the UK that they're looking, because right now the British ain't they want to fight their own thing. They're looking for us. They're running us one way, but they're bringing us. You see what they want to bring us for?
To fight war.
Yeah. They want us for the court and thing, but they want us for the army.
Yeah.
You understand? They want us who stay there 40-something years, but they want us for the army. But anyway, It's an opportunity.
A very good opportunity.
Because
and I can
one,
speak to it.
You're going to gain an education. You could even get housing and all sort of other assistance and so. And when you finish, you could come out from there with a degree and different things, different benefits and so. Medical benefits, nothing can wrong with you. They're taking care of you. Yeah. Well, you could get shot in a place and dead. But anyhow, they're taking care of you. So you're having the opportunity. Take it. Anybody that's interested, give me a WhatsApp or a message afterwards and I'll see what I can do. We have a caller.
Good morning and welcome. Good morning.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, hearing somebody saying cut it off. Yeah, you're hearing us.
Good morning.
Hello. Hello. Okay, they're gone. They had on the radio in the background. Anyway, Miss Clytie, good morning, my love. I hope you're having a wonderful morning this morning. Miss Clytie, Miss Bernice, good morning to you. Hey, Mrs. Mitchell. Yeah, of Mitchell's Health and Wellness. Mrs. Mitchell, good morning to you, my love. Don't
Cedric's mom.
Yeah, don't think our love has ever died, you know. You know I'll always love you. Yes, indeed.
I remember.
She's more at home these days. She's at home these days, yeah.
I remember a time when we used to go Wesley Hall School, me and her son, Cedric. We used to always pass through a shortcut and run up inside by there and run in the kitchen and she looking take
she's handle you.
Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Morning.
Hi, morning. Go right ahead, caller.
Hey, Miss Millie, boy, Miss Millie.
Miss Millie.
Tell them.
Yes, my dear.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'm working on you, and I ain't forget you. I'm working on you, I ain't forget you.
I knew Lolo.
No, I said I'm working on the stuff for you, I ain't forget you.
Oh, you working?
Yes, indeed, I'm working on you.
Yeah, so you will call me and tell me when everything thing?
Yes.
Okay.
One or two people already think. So I don't want to talk too much on air. We're going to talk about it after.
All right.
Okay, but
I will call you 12 o'clock.
All right.
Bye.
Yes, indeed. So, yeah, they are looking. Let me see. Okay, now that's just our word that child get nice.
Good morning to all of you on the live, wherever you from, where you at, from London.
Yeah, the live.
Yeah, Toronto, New York.
Hey, Kimron there. Kimron.
Yeah.
Morning, boss.
Good morning to all of you and hope you're having a wonderful day. We're having fun.
Yeah,
educating and informing persons.
Yeah, indeed. Mommy George, it's a long time I ain't falling by Mommy George, It's a long time I ain't falling there. I'll make sure she home these days and I'll fall in.
Hey, a special good morning to all our parliamentary representatives, the Prime Minister and all ministers in government. Good morning,
Prime Minister, deep in preparation day, man.
Yeah, you know, and have a wonderful day, all of you. God, I'm
looking forward to see what tie he wearing for the throne speech, and then I want to see what tie he wearing for the budget presentation. Prime Minister, I'm interested in the tie. I want to see the tie because I will get a lot of nice information and things. I know I will get a lot of nice information. Yeah, this budget is gonna be, top at top. So I know that. Tie you're looking to see, boy. There's some nice tie when you go in and get some budget and thing there.
Yeah, some color tie.
Yeah. Just some lasha tie and thing there. Yes, indeed. 4407377
and 347-329-3101.
And we have our overseas caller.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning to Sheldon. Good morning to Devon.
Good morning, my friend.
And morning to Kami and my mom in Dabo, Miss Peters.
Yes.
Sheldon and Devon, I was listening to George Grant and Ray Roberts yesterday. And to my surprise, Ray Roberts was talking about the 30th of the month and he hope people get paid.
Hey.
That's the first thing I hear he said, which was foolish, And then they went on to the CCJ. And they was talking about the CCJ. But you know what I get at Devon and Sheldon? They're not upset with the CCJ. They want everybody to go to the CCJ, but don't vote for it. I accept it, but don't vote for it. Because the lawyers in Grenada are too corrupt. The topic been changed and the lawyers in Grenada, and so much people complaining about the lawyers in Grenada and what it is. So to me now, they changed from the CCJ to the lawyers in Grenada. So the scapegoat right now is the lawyers in Grenada. So that's the reason why they're voting no. Because that's what I gather. Unless they got to explain it to me and the Grenadian people what they're talking about.
You know what I gather? That both George Grant and Ray Roberts are just two very bitter old men.
Very
bitter old men. Bitter.
You could say that again. You could say that again.
If they do
We're
not...
so bitter from you get your job in 1979, June Revolution, certain things happen, he been removed, and after that, Dr. Mitchell become a devil. And that's the way he's going down. You understand? The only man when he say quiet talking is Peter David. Anytime Peter David started to talk, we were like a little baby. he don't say nothing. And I want him to prove me wrong. I have many tapes where once Peter David speaking, Ray shut up.
You want to know something with Ray too? I used to basically say exactly what is Ray budget presentation every single year. Dr. Mitchell, lay money bill coffin, Dr. Mitchell, lay money go and walk land.
You know, he's my brother. I love Ray. We go to school together, we grew up, you know. But stop this one-way thing. You know? I'm talking, you know what Claudette, the thing what Claudette wrote and what Claudette read about is so good, and you're going to send it for George Grant. Ask him, you have a copy? Yes, I'm going to send it to you. I'm going to fax it to you. You know? Hypocrite. Exactly. They does not want this little island to strive. How could you support the CCJ? But still saying, don't vote because the lawyers and them. I hope all you guys listen to that. You know. I hope people listen to the program, what I was talking about.
The thing is, I don't think much people listen to George Grant again. So
yes, and all the problem they have with the lawyers in Grenada. So they change it from the CCJ, so the lawyers in Grenada, you know, they're so corrupt, that's why you must not vote on the 6th.
Well, if you say any lawyers in Grenada so corrupt, Claudette is a lawyer.
But no, she's corrupt because she's on their side.
Well,
because if all lawyers in Grenada is corrupt,
Nas happened to be a lawyer.
Then all the lawyers is not for NNP.
Well, Nas happened to be a lawyer.
Is not for NDC. Yes, I mean, there are those who are just neutral, but they are lawyers. So you put all the eggs in one basket. I'm talking about the lawyers in Grenada. I know so much people complaining about this, and this stay for 2 years, and this stay for that. So every time they're moving the goalpost.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what happened, Sheldon and Devon? God is always right. We only good sometimes, but God is good all the time. So anyhow, you guys take care.
All right, my friend. Have a wonderful day.
Yeah.
All right.
You know what? And what is amazing about some of these statements by persons like Ray Roberts and George Grant and even Claudette Joseph, you know, they keep saying and using the word that the lawyers as a pretext for persons not to go and vote for the CCJ. Oh, the lawyers corrupted and this and that. And you know that some of them are lawyers, and some of them their best friends is lawyers. They sit down and they drink with the lawyers, but yet you come on the radio and TV and so on, you still call the lawyers corrupted. I mean, how hypocrite, I mean, you could be, right?
Boy, I can't find that song. They too hypocrite. Yeah. They said hypocrite. They said hypocrite. I can't find it.
Who coming
inside? Duncan, where do you inside my studio again?
I want Nazim.
Jesus.
You want Nazim?
Nazim what? You see that door on that side?
You careful what you're saying on air.
Open that door on that side. Man, his wife will deal with you. She listening to the program. She don't listen. Yeah, so folks, I spoke about the opportunity with the British Army. Inbox me. Yeah. Inbox me if you're interested in joining, male or female. It doesn't matter. You could be male or female. You're interested in joining the British Army. Inbox me. I'll get some information to you on that one. I don't have it at my fingertips right now. Also, yeah, because somebody was asking how you know your economy thing in watch Silver Sands. They're looking for people. Yeah. So right now they have a vacancy for villa hosts. Yeah. So villa hosts. A villa host will be required to maintain the optimum level of quality and service as the villas within the Silver Sands. A villa host is a key ambassador, blah, 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 blah. So they're looking for various categories of people. They're looking for kitchen stewards. They're looking for villa hosts. They're looking for drivers. Oh, no. The position for driver is now filled. Right. Driver now hiring. Position now filled. No, I think they're still looking for it. No, that seems to have been filled. They're looking for chefs. They're looking for housekeeping people and so on. But we have a problem. One of our problem is we do not take the time to read properly when people are sending out things for applications, when they're sending out a notice for applications. Now, if you do a letter, a thing, and you apply for all positions available, and you go down to Silver Sands and you drop it in, you will not be called back. They ain't calling you. I'm telling you, they're not going to call you. Yeah? Number one, they're stating the positions available because they want you to apply for a specific position. They don't want anybody that's looking for anything. They want somebody that's looking to build a career in a particular area and therefore is looking for a job in that area. So if you apply, and this doesn't go for Silver Sands alone, this goes for most of the companies. If you apply for anything available, they ain't even going to bother to call you back. Yeah? Secondly, they're only taking applications via their email. Yeah? That's jobs@silversandsgrenada.com. So jobs@silversandsgrenada.com. That is the only way. You cannot go in there and send the application. You can't give somebody that get through already an application printed and give them to bring for you. You need to email them a proper application. Yeah? So you have to send an email introducing yourself and what you're looking for. They have said many applicants just attach CVs, and at Silver Sands Grenada, we're looking for special team members who make an additional effort to go the extra mile. So if they realize in applying, you just send a thing and say, my name is so-and-so, I live so-and-so, I went to school here, and that's the end of it. You haven't tried to impress them. And therefore, they won't hire you, because if they hire you, you won't try to impress the people that are coming to their facility. How you apply for a job, how you do at an interview says a lot about you as the individual. So if you are really serious about looking for a job at Silver Sands, follow the instructions properly. You send an email to jobs@silversandsgrenada.com. Yeah? You send an email to there. Introduce yourself properly. Send a nice looking picture in the thing. We ain't say send no suggestive picture in the thing. Yeah, because next thing they say you is that kind of person we want you there, you're going to interfere with them guests. Right? Send a proper photo with you smiling. Let them see your teeth. If you do a teeth, at least grin. Send it, right, to the people. Send a proper thing to jobs@Silver Sands Grenada, but specify the area. So right now, they're looking for assistant housekeeping manager, housekeepers, chefs. They were looking for a driver. I'm seeing the thing still there, but it's saying now filled. And also, they're looking for kitchen stewards, and they're looking for villa hosts, right? So the villa hosts, I think it's something like the what they have down in Sandals there. Those guys that you could hire that does everything for you. You make sure that everything is done. I think we have a call on the line.
Good morning and welcome.
Hey, good morning, Devon.
Not too bad.
And Sheldon, what's up, man?
Morning, my friend.
Yeah, good, bro.
You're good. All right. You know, just to come and talk a little while ago. We spoke a little while back, and I gave her my number, but she never called me. So
okay, maybe lose that.
I want to give her a call.
Mm-hmm. Tell her give you a call?
Well, I don't know if she still have my number, because I gave her, I realized she never called me, so I don't know.
No, if it's one thing, Cammy would call you, so that means that she lose the number.
No, we had a really serious talk, and she had to call me.
No, I'm saying if there's anything, I'm sure she lose the number. I know Cammy.
Yeah, I think she might lose the number, because she was on her way home to here.
Okay.
So call me if you're listening, if you have my number, give me a call. If you don't, call me on 422-3082. 422-3082.
No problem.
And so everything good, bro?
Yeah, man. You know anybody interested in joining the British Army, man?
I think so, because I just hear you say that. I want to just call my friends and ask them, because I was wondering if today is the deadline.
No, the deadline today is for the cruise ship.
For the cruise ship?
Yeah, 25-year-old and above, male, no females.
No female.
Male they're looking for. Yeah, it's a specific position they're looking for persons for. So for this one, they're looking specifically for males. Yeah, because I have a lot of people, I put it up on my Facebook and a lot of people started messaging me about how come it's only man they're looking for, so what wrong with how you expect me to answer that? I am not the recruiting company out of Barbados.
Yeah.
Somebody messages me and tell me, well, they do have a passport, so how they will go Barbados? I just message them back and say, I think you're looking at the wrong job opportunity.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, if that's the question you ask me, I think you're looking at the wrong job opportunity.
So there was an age group for the army? I mean, I didn't hear you say the age group.
No, I didn't see the age group for the army, but I think generally with the British Army it's 18 going 18, up to I think they close it off at 35.
Yeah, 35. Yeah, I don't.
35, I think they close off at. Yeah.
What about the height? You be any?
No.
The person I know is not at all short. So what I'll find out, I'll get more information because I received the message just as I'm on air. From a trusted, because somebody that's in the military there right now in the UK, and they said that the army there is looking for people from Grenada right now. So just put it out there and then collect the information for them, and they'll send information to me to send to the persons.
Good.
All right.
I'll get back to you on that for sure. I have a lot of friends I think I might know.
No problem. Tell all of them people are working on percentage, yeah? Yeah, the first salary that is sent out is something.
Yeah.
I kid it.
And Kami, give me a call right now because remember the number is 422 and 3282.
Okay, bro.
All right, good.
Bless. Yes, indeed.
Deepo, good morning to you. Deepo is listen to that, Sheldon. And if you come up on you, don't sit there and mope. Get up and vote. You can't have both, but no is just a butt papa a butt papi show.
Papi show, yeah.
CCJ is not about us today. It's about us tomorrow. And when the Englishman say go your own way, we don't want to wait for that.
Hey, good morning, Sheldon. Good morning, Devon. How are everything?
Not too bad, my friend.
Brother Devon and Sheldon, I want to say something. A government is elected to serve all its citizens, right? And to make life much better for its citizens. And I want to say this government is doing a lot. It's doing a lot to touch all sectors of the population, and they're doing it. I want some of Ukrainians not to be selfish, right? We need all of you pay tax, not one set of people pay tax. Everybody pay tax, right? And we should be grateful that of what we get, and we are content. Yes, we need more, but one, we should not only get to all, and some don't get in. And if we say we love our neighbors, we love ourselves, we have to make sure that the pie, the cake is shared across the board, not for one. Not for one, no one said, all the people of the country, all the citizens. And brother, I want to say something concerning the CCG. Right? We on the programs are encouraging people to vote yes for the CCG. And we're giving the people of the reason why and the benefit why they should be voting yes for the CCG. But we didn't know sayers. They're saying to people vote no. But I want we, the great people, when they come around and they tell us vote no, we have to ask them a question. If we vote no, what we benefit from voting no? Right? We don't benefit nothing. Right? And if you say you love and care about people, the no sayers, you should encourage people to vote yes. Because when we vote yes, it benefits each and everyone. It benefits we who say yes, it benefits those who say no. Right? I call upon, let us come together, let us unite. Right? And put country first. Put country first. No put party. Country first. Right? When you see some people, once they're not in position to do anything, they will oppose everything. I just say to people, let us get rid of that hatred. And let us have a heart of love. Where we see others as we see ourselves and love one another. Brother Devon, Sheldon, you all have a wonderful day. God bless you all.
All right, thank you very much, bro.
Have a wonderful day.
And it's great that caller that just called, because I see Deepo make a statement. The XPRA is too old to join us, so they can't get in that British thing. That XPRA too old.
They wouldn't want us anyways.
No, you might be very surprised how some former PRA ended up in the British Army.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, you never know.
Never know. Some of them maybe even end up in the Foreign Legion. Anyhow.
I have a son that's in the British Army since, I think, 2009.
That's
8 or 9.
That's
yeah,
nice, man.
Yeah.
You've got a call.
Good morning and welcome.
Hello, good morning. I want to be off the air. I want to like to speak to...
You'll have to call me after the program, my dear.
Pardon?
You'll have to call me after the program.
Okay.
No problem.
Right.
Just call immediately after. Okay. Yes, indeedy. 4407377
and 347-329-3101. Good morning and welcome. Good morning.
Hello. Kiami. That's Kiami, you know.
Yeah,
I hear the voice. Kiami. Hello. She phone maybe call us and she don't even know she call us there.
Somebody might have a busy talking inside.
She maybe phone maybe call us and she don't even know she call us there.
XPRA too old. Why people you know easy?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but as I was telling you, I have a son.
XPRA?
No, you don't know XPRA now. I still. I am still a member of the People's Revolutionary Army, despite it disband. The thing. I'm proud of that too. I ain't go say.
Just don't have a uniform again.
Yeah, I just can't wear. I just can't wear the uniform and the sidearm and thing.
Wear the uniform.
I can't wear it again. It's illegal to be wearing them.
Wear the uniform.
Where it is, you say?
Yeah, where it is.
Well,
I ain't saying wear it as in put it on.
Yeah.
Where is it?
I just can't wear it again.
See? Okay, no longer has it.
No, don't say that. You have an answer? I just cannot wear it.
We're going to put it up in the museum. No.
At least publicly, though.
We got to get them thing for the museum. That's what I'm asking. You have a caller.
Good morning and welcome. Hey, bro.
Yes, sir.
The security man, I like to hear that. I like him for
Oh,
no, I saw him Sunday, so he's okay.
He's okay. He's all right.
I just say because I like to hear that man. I like him for so that call.
It depends on how he's working too, eh? Yeah.
All right, take care.
All right, my brother.
Yeah, sometimes according to where he is based, he cannot call as he wants. Not that he's listening, eh? He's listening, but he can't call as he wants to call. Yeah, so sometimes they wouldn't hear him for a little while.
Good morning and welcome. Hey, darling, good morning.
And Sheldon.
Yes.
I know I call all you. You know what happened? I'm calling on the Port Authority and the management of Port Authority for the bus terminal. There is people they don't have a boot here, but they pass as all Grenadians and we're looking for $1. But they have some seats here for elderly people when they come and they want that seat to sit down, right? There is this guy from Fountain Oil. He comes there every day and sells, right? And I'm only asking him kindly this morning to give an old lady a seat. He sit down here with a basket and not selling. Every day he come here and do that.
Run him.
And he refused to move. I am calling on Mr. Philip and Mr. Lord and those in authority to speak to this guy. You know, they allow them to do the fast, the bath, and not. But he's speaking for elderly people. And he's coming to cost me now and tell me about my foot. I just turned around this morning. And he's not saying 1 cent or 1 Grenadian to know that. Because when you talk, they say, and he's telling me I like confusion. I just pay my rent. And he comes and makes money here. He's not contributing nothing. Not $1 for the terminal. But he's sitting here and so harassing people, harassing me.
Yeah, don't let
it for elderly people.
Don't let it run your blood pressure.
Elderly possibility. So I'm calling on Mr. Philip and Mr. Lord and those in authority here to speak to this guy.
Don't let it run your blood pressure up, my lord.
No, my pressure don't run up. I just want, because when you do checking, people look at you as a bad person.
Okay. Yeah. All right, my dear.
You're not supposed to be selling it. Give your lady a seat, give her a seat.
Don't let your blood pressure go up, all right?
And is that right?
Okay, my dear.
All right.
All right, darling, take care.
Now, let's say this, in the US and the UK, I believe even I'm not too sure in Trinidad and Jamaica and so on, but I do know that when elderly people come, especially on public transportation, elderly and pregnant women, you have to get up and give your seat.
But all over the world, right here in Grenada,
I mean, get up and give your seat.
That's a given. Nobody going to tell you that or ask you to do that.
That's why in some banks in other countries, I don't know why the banks here doesn't do that. I haven't seen it before in any bank here. They have special space for the elderly so that when they come, they could facilitate them quickly.
Coop Bank.
Coop Bank has it?
Coop Bank have a specific area that when
for the
senior,
elderly.
elder go, they go straight there. or the person on the that's right there will call them and say,
man, on air, brother.
Yeah, they will call them and say, come out from there, come this way, because they see it's an elderly person and they can't stand in a line for too long and so. You know, so that's the kind of service that we need to continue to provide for our senior citizens, right?
Yeah, so when it comes to those sort of issues and it comes to the senior citizens and so, none of us, these people make the contribution already.
Oh, yeah.
And we should not be doing anything to disenfranchise them of a simple seat. I pass by Cami all the time.
Yep.
And every time I pass there's several elderly people that use those seats. So she's not lying, she's not telling a tale, and she's not speaking about something that is not an issue. The seats are for the people, especially the elderly and so. Sometimes they're waiting on a bus and they come and they sit there. Sometimes when the place is a little slower, you might see Bala and the busmen and them hanging out there. But as soon as one of them see one of the elderly people coming, they get up.
They get up. They definitely get up.
As soon as they see an elderly person coming, they get up.
Or can we go tell them get up and give the woman a seat?
Yeah, and she doesn't even have to do that most of the time. They get up and they give their seat up to the elderly. So when you see that sort of thing, please, don't do that kind of thing. All right? Everybody had to make a living. Want to see you make a living? We don't want you to go and break people's place. We prefer you go and you sell nuts and you make a living and thing. But Papa, don't do that.
Sheldon, you having fellas asking me about my PRA clothes and all this kind of thing.
Yeah.
And weight day and all them kind of thing. All right, all I do is okay.
You see, when the PRA association will be soon formed. Mr. Roy Ruffin, people like Roy, morning. And my other part, wait, let me say a special good morning to the crew down there in the Limes. The 25th. Remember, I went out on the morning after, but the 25th, I went on Lime with a crew down there in the Limes. All right, so let me say a special good morning to my crew down there in the Limes. Roy and the crew, right? I can't remember all the names off the top of my head. Roy, message me, tell me the names. But the crew down there in the Limes, a special good morning to you guys. Yeah, but you get one pile of oil long and thing down there.
Chris, you don't have nothing. You don't still have nothing. You don't have no PR thing.
Now you still have mind.
You have it in your mind. That is what going on.
You still have mind. You have mind.
I had the boots and all, and I could bring it and show you and shine up and everything.
Maybe you have a landmine.
Oh, and by the way, too, just want to say to all the persons who came out on October 25th to commemorate the fallen heroes, the fallen soldiers, and so both from Grenada and Cuba on the 25th and so, we hope that, we'll continue to commemorate and give recognition, right, to those fallen soldiers that fought for Grenada.
You know what you all need? You all need an ex-serviceman's uniform. No, seriously, you all need an ex-serviceman's uniform. A tunic and a pants, or a jacket and a pants or some kind of thing. Ex-serviceman's uniform, so that that is a guy. When you have these kind of things, you have your uniform that is okayed by the Royal Grenada. Don't try and do that outside. Okayed by the Royal Grenada Police Force and thing, and you have your ex-serviceman's uniform.
Yeah, and not only that too.
And how your association?
I was just about to say the Veterans Association World War I and II. Yeah, we will definitely have ours very soon.
Oh, Deepo said he thought the former opposition leader did take your thing. Well, the man was leading the opposition. We didn't have opposition leader.
Oh, the former opposition?
The former opposition leader is Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell. Yeah. He was the last opposition
leader
we had.
Last opposition leader we had, Deepo.
So we have a leader, the opposition party. Had a leader, the opposition party. But the last opposition leader was Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell. Yeah, and that was
Deepo, he afraid gun. He lying and say, he never hold a gun and he wasn't this and that. He afraid that. Don't worry them.
See, all going down a road there again. Anyway, remember, folks, next week we are definitely going to the polls next week, Tuesday, and I am going to vote yes. I suggest you do the same. And nobody can tell me that I can't suggest to you that you vote yes. Why should you vote yes? You should vote yes because sooner or later, the Privy Council in the UK will be no more. We will have to go to the Caribbean Court of Justice. The people who are telling you vote no are admitting that we will have to go to the Caribbean Court of Justice. Secondly, if you have your son or you have your daughter that has been framed, that has been wrongly accused, that ends up in prison has been sentenced to an inordinate amount of time, and their final chance to get a hearing is to go to the Privy Council, as it is right now, maybe 0.0001% of the population of Grenada could afford to go to the Privy Council in a situation like that. Yeah? To afford to take the lawyers up and themselves up and the $4,000 per person a ticket. 4,000 EC here, we ain't talking TT here, 4,000 EC per ticket to go up and that sort of thing. Plus food and board and all them kind of thing, they're a couple £1,000 again. Now, with the Caribbean Court of Justice, your child or yourself who may have been wrongly accused will finally have an opportunity to receive justice. There may be people sitting in prison right now that have a good case, Devon. There may be people that are sitting in prison right now that have a good case.
Definitely.
And the only way that they will be able to have a truly fair final hearing, notice what I said, a truly fair final hearing. They cannot have their final hearing right now. They cannot afford to go to the Privy Council. They may be your relative, or in the future, unfortunately, they may be you. So you need to have your final fair hearing. It may be your son or your daughter that's walking on the street of St. George with a group of young people. Something happens, and your child, who didn't even strike a blow, ends up in jail just like all the others. Just like all the others. Yeah, simply guilty by association. Is that fair? No, but sometimes that goes through the High Court. They uphold it, and they might even uphold it at the OECS Appeals Court and so. But you may have a chance at the CCJ to have it overturned because your child actually innocent. Didn't Peltalash somebody else just say, oh, them was one of them too, and they put them into it.
And that
so
actually
they finally
happened.
have a case.
That actually happened here in Grenada, where a group, one or two young guys involved in an altercation, someone died, and a few of them got charged for that one incident, and there was about 2 or 3 of them there who basically didn't do anything, but they were charged because of association. And so you don't want that when this thing happen to us or our children or our grandchildren or even our sisters and brothers, that we don't have a proper opportunity, right? An easier available court to go to. That is what we want.
And that is not what the No campaign telling you that. The No camp don't care if your innocent child sit down in prison.
They don't care because they have money. Them don't care about people, they have the money.
You think Claudette broke?
She not broke, she got a ton. She can represent all of them. Jude Bernard, all of them. They could do that.
You think Ray Roberts and Jude Bernard and these people is broke people? You think there's poor people? You think they care about the young fellow who sit down in gun battle right now, who might end up on an innocent charge? Suppose it have some drugs somewhere close by, and he happened to be there, and the police going to take him up because he's within a certain proximity, and he might end up in jail, and next thing you know, the man gets slapped at that thing. They say, oh, so you was the fellow that hold with the spliff the last time.
You understand?
And now they find how much pongs are it next to you. Okay, so you are going to jail for the next 10 years. And he innocent, you know, because he actually was not in possession. He didn't have it. He didn't have it. So he has his final hearing, not in front of one judge at the High Court, but he has his final hearing in front of several judges now at the CCJ. They're not explaining that to you. The no vote isn't explaining that these are the things that you are hinging on what takes place next week, Tuesday. The ability for you, the average person, the bus driver, who may find himself on the wrong side of the law with a manslaughter charge or some kind of thing. Next thing is not that you was speeding, but somebody else was doing something wrong and somebody dies and you end up in jail for an extended period of time. You cannot go to the Privy Council. You go through the High Courts already. That's all you get sentence and thing. You go to the OECS Appeals Court to uphold what the High Court say. But you know you still have a case. And you know that you're innocent. That you were not drunk when you bonked somebody, God forbid, or that you were not under the influence or something. You know that you're innocent. That it was an innocent mistake. It happened, somebody died, but it was not your fault. But you have been charged because some judge in the High Court just having a bad day today and decide, okay, I gave him the full penalty, 20 years in jail. But you can't go to the Privy Council and argue that 20 years in jail is too much. You could go to the CCJ
Exactly.
And you don't even have to go. You could stay in
Right
Grenada.
there in Grenada and seek
and
justice.
the case could be argued for you in the CCJ.
And they're not telling you that. They're keeping all these things away from you. You see, access to justice. That is what we're seeking for. Proper access to justice, not a headache to fight to go to the Privy Council quite in London. And so we need access to justice right here in Grenada. That is what it's all about. So don't let them continue to mislead you and try to convince you not to vote yes for the CCJ. Yes, we are voting yes because it benefits us in every single way.
And when we say us, we mean each and every Grenadian, including
everyone.
the people who saying vote no.
And they know that.
But Devon, take the words out of my mouth, because they are telling you that the CCJ is the way to go. So if the CCJ is the way to go, why are they going against it? And they're talking about the bill and the bill and the bill. If you, well, they're asking for bills so much, you're about to bring my electricity bill for them.
And another thing, all I'm
Since
saying.
they keep asking for bill, I could bring that to
them. We not against the CCJ, you know, we support the CCJ, but the government has to do this, and how hypocritical it is. You understand? I mean,
Nisha,
I wish I was close to y'all, just so.
Nisha, good morning. Good morning, Nisha.
Knock some heads. Educate, I mean, so-called educated people coming on the radio and television and try to convince the Grenadian people with such rubbish, right? And thing. Tell the people the benefits.
The thing is this, that these individuals know better. They know better.
They know better.
They know better. But they are allowing
deceitful.
Their hatred, their bitterness, and their spite. That's why I refer to George Grant and Ray Roberts as two bitter old men.
They're very bitter.
Noticed, I have no problem with anybody's age. I'm just stating what is a fact. They are just two very bitter individuals. You listen to them speak.
Ooh.
You hear what they say. And you listen to how they phrase stuff, and you realize that they're just two elderly persons who hold a lot of bitterness and hate inside. You know, one thing that I've learned from Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell's mom, Mrs. Muriel Mitchell, never keep things inside. Never go to sleep and you're vexed and you're upset with people, and it taking years off your life.
Can't walk.
Don't go and rest and lie down in the night and you're vexed and this person
you're getting
you
grumpy and quaily and all kind of things.
You might never wake up. Don't go and do that. And she's pushing
right.
90 something.
96 perhaps. Yeah.
Somewhere in the 90s there.
Yeah, I mean, look at her. Look at her. Look at her.
And
I mean,
she says, never go to bed and make the anger and thing from the day stay with you. Deal with it. Get it out of your system. Forgive who you have to forgive. Forget who you have to forget. And go to bed at night so you have a proper rest.
Exactly. And it's a true saying, because they always tell couples that you have a disagreement. When you go lie down on your bed, make sure that disagreement becomes an agreement. Extinguish it and go to bed. Talk it out. Make love. Do what needs to be done.
See, you have to go
and wake up in the morning and feel good. Start the day. Give God thanks and praise. You know what I'm saying? So don't let some of these senior citizens, as I will call them, try to distort the information and to discourage you.
And we have nothing against senior citizens, but we're telling you, because the people who are telling you vote no, brother and sister, youth man on the block in Saigon that are listening right now, my fellas in the Limes that are listening right now, guys out there in Gun Battle, or those are you on the blocks, the different blocks in Rose Hill, those are you inside your area there, Devon, those fellas. Well, the thing is, they ain't go hear that until later, because they go hear the rebroadcast, because generally these guys, most of them out there working right now and in Empower program and thing. But parents of these guys, don't let these individuals fool you. They have their money in their pocket.
Definitely.
They could afford to go to the Privy Council. You can't. Yeah? On Tuesday, we're going to vote not just for ourselves, but for our children and our children's children. I am voting yes. I'm encouraging you to do the same. They can't tell me I can't do it, because they're encouraging people to vote no.
Exactly.
So they go wrong, and they go, how would I say it? Damn fast to come and tell me that I can't say vote yes. Vote yes. Right. Devon, that's all the time we have today?
Yes. Ooh.
Yeah, that's all the time we have today for Hard Talk, folks. It's been wonderful being here with you, and whatever you say and whatever you do it safe and secure. We want to be speaking to and with you.
And not about you.
We're back tomorrow, God's willing, with more Hard Talk from 10 a.m. I'd like to thank all the stations Like to thank all of you who called, all of you who listened, all of you contributed in whichever way to today's program. Love each and every one of you. You say it, Devon? Peace out.
Peace out.
The Ministry of Youth Development, Sports, Culture and the Arts present Youth Week 2018, empowering our youth, shaping our community, protecting our future. The week of activities kicks off on Friday, November 9th with the Minister's Address from 8 p.m. Saturday, 10th November, Health Fair, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Cuthbert Peters Park, War, and the Fitness Revolution, 3 p.m. Concord Junction. Sunday, 11th November, it's the Peace Concert, Grenville Bus Terminal. On Tuesday, 13th November, ministers meet with the youth at Her Majesty's Prison. Thursday, 15th November, from 5 p.m., it's the Imani Graduation, Youth Awards and Gala. And on Friday, 16th through the weekend, it's the National Youth Service Weekend. Every parish get involved. And on Saturday, 17th November, it's Youth Expo, Explosion Fashion and Cultural Day, 2 p.m. until at Hero Square, Victoria in St. Mark. So remember, Youth Week 2018, November 9th to the 17th.
Come out and make the right decision. It benefits in everybody. The Caribbean Court of Justice is what I come to promote. So when that time we just stick, make sure you go out and vote, believe it. Let us get it right. I say everything has to fix. One Caribbean, one community. CCJ, yes, they have the remedy. Oh, the CCJ, yeah. Come November 6th, every Caribbean island I calling out one and all. Oh, the CCJ. That's it. Vote yes to the CCJ.
Get up. It's time to vote for Caribbean Court of Justice. Man are ready to vote. The people ready to vote. I said they're ready to vote. We voting yes for Caribbean Court of Justice. We voting yes, 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 yes for Caribbean Court of Justice. I'm telling you, I go in and vote. You go in and vote. We go in and vote. Caribbean Court of Justice. She go in and vote. He go in and vote. They go in and vote. Caribbean Court of Justice. Grenada is a little island down here in the Caribbean. We've been through a lot in my lifetime, even revolution. And I must mention Hurricane Ivan. My dream is to see all the island come together as one. We voting yes for Caribbean Court of Justice. We voting yes, 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 yes for Caribbean Court of Justice. I'm telling you, I go in and vote. You go in and vote. We go in and vote. Caribbean Court of Justice. She go in and vote. He go in and vote. They go in and vote. Caribbean Court of Justice. My people, remember, November the 6th, Caribbean Court of Justice is the best choice. Vote yes to Caribbean Court of Justice. Up, 2, 3, 4.
Stay up to date with all that's happening with the new National Party, NNP. Send us a message via text or WhatsApp on 405-8683 with your name, email, and constituency. Stay in the know with NNP. Get updated.